Hi, I'm Jonny, not James Bond. And even though we're in Office 007, we don't have a license to kill, thankfully. Although that doesn't mean we don't have a license to thrill, entertain, or even educate. And that's the best license, especially for podcasting. Money Matters is a podcast brought to you by me and by Money Support Group. And it looks at financial hardship and personal hardship, as well as ways to counteract those difficult life moments. If you want to find out a bit more about Money Support Group, then there should be a little bit of information in the description and maybe a link to a website that you can click on. As far as I'm concerned, leading this podcast, I'd love you to like, comment and subscribe. It would mean a lot to me, and also Money Support Group and the team that supports me with Money Matters. Hello, I'm Jonny again, and on behalf of my various financial advice clientele, I'm absolutely delighted to be joined by Kerry on the Street James, who is in the middle of Colne Town Market. How are you doing, James, after all those technological hoops?
I'm great, thank you. Yeah. We just stopped for a bit of dinner. We've been on Curry on the Street business.
Absolutely fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And just as listeners are aware, I currently still have a lisp as a result of orthodontic treatment, and this lisp is getting slightly better week on week. So when these go up, you can also follow my personal journey to a lisp-free vocal sound, and that will be great. But it's not about me, this, James. Of course, this is about you. It's about Curry on the Street and the fantastic stuff that you do. So, as an introduction, can you tell those who maybe aren't aware who you are and what Curry on the Street is and what it does?
Yeah, I started Curry on the Street to give something back to the communities and that who helped me, you know. And I was helped a lot through Colne, a little place called the Citadel. So I was an alcoholic. I'm recovering now. I've been in recovery 2 years. So I wanted to give something back to the community. So one or two of us started this up, and it's just got bigger and bigger. We're doing like £1,200 worth of food we're giving out each week, and so over 200 curries each week, plus bedding, plus furniture for people who are struggling, and lots of other things. Sleeping bags. We get sleeping bags donated by a 12-year-old girl, and they're called Izzy bags. But she does all the fundraising for them. So it's great. You know what I mean?
No, it absolutely is. And just for clarification, I mean, we know all about you, James, but just for those who don't, when you're giving out the curry and the bedding, this is for people in poverty, in deprived situations, for the homeless, isn't it?
Yeah, this is for people, mainly the bedding, obviously. It's for people who are struggling from day to day, you know. I mean, the homeless, we save the sleeping bags for them, tents, blow-up beds, anything that'll make them comfort. We've gone through all the winter, and they've all had sleeping bags. I think everybody from Nelson, Colne, and Burnley, they've all been donated a sleeping bag, which is brilliant because it saves lives. You know, through the winter and the sleeping rough.
Yeah. No, absolutely, really well put. You've already touched on it a bit already, but I was going to ask what your main inspiration was behind setting this up, and you've already talked about the difficulties you've had in your personal life in the past, particularly with alcohol, like you said. How did that work to inspire you to do this then?
Because there's so many. I mean, I were rough, you know, and I weren't actually rough sleeping, but I were poorly with it, mental health state and everything. Like I said about the Citadel, I used to go there. When I went to Citadel, I couldn't speak because I were in such a mess. So from there, they were so kind to me and stuff. I just started volunteering for them, and from there it's gone to something else now, and we still keep in touch. We're, but I just wanted to give something back. I've been really lucky, and I've got church in my life now and all that. I wanted to, just give something back mainly. I'm not interested in making money or anything. I just want to help people. And I've made so many friends out on the streets. We're like proper friends. We're not, I'm not just feeding them. It's not about food. It's about getting them out there, out to where they're staying or whatever, coming down and enjoying a bit of a chit chat and all that. And then have some food, a bag of shopping, whatever they need. I interviewed a guy last night and he said, I've got all my clothes off you. Now, I didn't know that. Over the last 14 months, he said, I've got all my clothes, I get all my food. And he said he loves curry on the street, It felt really good, but anybody that comes along to us, we'll help. This morning, we've just helped someone with a double bed and a single bed that have nothing. They've just moved into an house. They have nothing. So things like that, I seem to, I feel as though I'm lucky to be doing this, to be giving back, because 2 years ago, there were no chance for me.
No.
Some of the lads that we have working for us now are all in recovery. They're all like 6 months without booze or drugs. So, and they understand and they know what's going on. And it helps them as well. It helps me. Do you know what I mean? It really does.
No, it's absolutely really well put, and it's about showing humanity, I guess. Showing humanity in a world that sometimes forget it. You've touched on it again, and I don't want to probe you too much on it, but generally speaking, what kind of advice would you give to someone who's going through the recovery stage of maybe an addiction to alcohol or something along those lines, from your personal experience?
I'd just keep at it, try and seek help. Always ask for help, because there is somebody there that'll help you. We do it on Curry on the Street because we have people that are going through recovery, like myself. We can give a bit of advice. We can tell them where to go, point them in the right direction. But to be honest, if you've got a good heart, you can gain the trust, and after that, we help feed them and stuff. But once you gain people's trust and that, they trust you, you start becoming like, they come along and tell you the problems, and this is what I wanted at first. But you have to work on it. We can do curry on the streets all day long, but it's not about food. It's about getting people to come together and talk about the problems, the mental health problems, the drug problems, the struggling for food problems. They've got kids and they come along and they've got kids there. Sometimes it's heartbreaking, but we keep them going as much as we can. And we get support off loads of shops, like Morrison's, farm foods. The food's there for us, and BFC.
My football team.
Sorry.
I was just going to say that's my football team, so it's nice to hear that they're getting involved.
We've got a mosque involved in Nelson, NCN. And the guy's called Afak, and he's the imam. So, and he comes down every time.
Mm.
We have everything. He helps us out big time, you know, and we all work well together. Community, it's fantastic. We've got like lads that go to the mosque, and we've got us and all different cultures and that, and we all get on, you know.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Greatly.
It's fantastic how, like you said, there's so much diversity around one great cause, which again is just to help out those that need it. And it's a really good question leading on to then. What is your proudest achievement since forming Kerry on the Street? If there's a single thing, a single story that you're the most proud of, what would it be and why?
We had a chap from Lithuania who come and he were crying his eyes out. We've managed to get him a house. We've managed to get him some tools or something for his work. And now he's got a job. He's got a house. He was worried sick about his dog, and everything's turned out all right for him. And we got another family a house, moved out of a house. So the kids, 4 kids, I think they have. We worked on it with the council and all that. They were living in a house full of rats. We got that sorted out. They're now in a right good house in Colne, in a right good area with back and front garden. So that's the things that I feel proud about. You know, I'm not proud about myself. I'm just proud about the things we're doing and the things the volunteers do. You know what I mean? It touches me, the volunteers. I've got a waiting list of volunteers. Now, for me to have a waiting list full of volunteers is unbelievable, but it's there.
No, yeah, it really shows actually. I think the good in society, you know, it gets lambasted quite a lot, all the negative things we see in the news. But like you said, something like that, such a long, extensive list of people who are willing to help offer their services to you for no cost.
Yeah, we're all very passionate about it.
Yeah, no, it's brilliant. It really, really is. Just in terms of these people then that you are helping, of course, people coming in from other countries, I mean, they are susceptible to being vulnerable, particularly if English isn't particularly good. But generally speaking, would you say that a lot of these people find themselves in positions where they've fallen behind on, things such as owing money to certain people and are in serious debts? Do you think this is a recurring theme with people you're helping, or is there not much of a link there, would you say?
There's not a lot of money.
No.
And we need debt places, obviously.
Yeah.
To help these people out of it. You know, whether it be paying a little amount each week or what. I mean, there's a lot of worry out there. There's a lot of people worrying. And you can see the stress in them. But once, you know, even Curry on the Street helps a little bit, we end up like, you can see a certain person every week, but you can see them once they've been helped and we're talking to them, you can see their confidence growing, you know, and they seem to be looking after themselves better. If you know what I mean, you can see the improvements. It's just a bit of food. It's just some curry and some. I mean, we want the best thing we want is for them to come down, obviously get the food and everything. But once this COVID's over, we're going to have tables outside, and the tables they're going to be able to sit and have a natter and sit down, relax, and that. At the moment, we're passing them through, you know. But really, the vision is it's going to be like a big cafe outside, wherever we do it. I mean, in Burnley, we might get 50 people. In Nelson, we might get 70 each time. We do it 3 times a week. So it's a fair, you know, it's a fair big thing, but yeah, we want it to work for the people, really. It's not about numbers and stuff. It's about just seeing them, being a bit more happier.
I think you touched on it there, really, particularly during the pandemic. Mental health problems have really spiraled.
Yeah,
Talked about it over the past few years like never before, and that's such a big thing. So it's really nice to see that you're trying to help people in from that mental state by setting up, as you say, out after the pandemic, after the social distancing. Now, I mean, to be fair, the way we're opening up now, there's maybe a ploy to do something outdoors already, you know, with the way things are opening up. But absolutely massive respect to you for seeing that angle and really trying to do something with it. Yeah.
We have quite a few. We have quite a few people with mental health problems volunteering. But this is what the vision was as well. Get everybody involved. It doesn't matter what addiction you've got. It doesn't matter what mental health problem. I have a chap. I won't mention his name, obviously.
No.
I have a chap. He's got bipolar schizophrenia. He loves us turning up to pick him up. He just does 1 day a week. But he gets so excited and that. It's great. And it's great for him. He's coming out of his shell and that. You know, you can't beat it.
No, it absolutely. I'd imagine, help. It's lovely to see that helping others actually helps him with his own mental health. I think that's fantastic. You know, really good to see. Just to touch on something that I was sort of alluding to before as well. When we see people get into these positions that they're in and require your help, as I sort of said, is there a way that they fall into this that you've seen? Is it that debts are becoming insurmountable? Is it that there's not enough protections in place to help people, you know, who are struggling to keep on top of bills? Is it because it's too easy to get maybe payday loans or something to try and you know solve gaps and fix problems? When in actual fact, it's just making them much worse. What would you say around the whole debt sort of idea?
I would say ask for help off any debt. You know, debt people that can sort it out. There's a lot of professionals out there that can help.
Yeah,
I would say just seek help. Don't let it go further and further. You know, you have to ask. I've found in my time that if I ask, there's always somebody there to help.
Yeah.
You know, and it doesn't matter who you ask. It's like I keep saying about the Citadel and that. The biggest move I ever made in my life was to go with her. It turned everything around. Although I didn't speak in there, I'm with one of the lads now that when I went there, I met. And we worked together and everything, you know. But the thing is, I didn't speak when I went there. I couldn't speak to anybody because I was so bad with my mental health and stuff. And now you can't keep me quiet.
No, absolutely. No, absolutely true. And that's great. That is great to hear and great to see that you're so quite optimistic about not only what you're doing, but talking to me. I can see the enthusiasm coming straight out of you. In terms of so from, you know, the point of view of some of my own clientele, is there anything that you think that debt companies or debt advice companies, such as some of those that I work for, is there anything you would advise them to do in, you know, to help people out who you help out? Is there anything we could do to be more proactive in this situation?
Yeah, this is great. What we're doing now is great. We need to get the word out there about how much help. It's not like I've said again. It's not about the curry. It's not about the shopping bags. It's about helping people. Getting them together, and you can see the difference. Connecting with people, you can see the difference over a few weeks. So if we can keep doing that, we're on a winner. We're on a winner. I mean, we don't get no funding at the moment.
No.
But we do get donations of food from the big companies and that, which keeps us going. But like I said, if there were no food there, I'd still be on the street just to be there for anybody. just to be, not just me, there's 15 volunteers or 16 volunteers, and we're all passionate.
Well, yeah, no, again, really fantastic. But just sort of as one of my last two questions, really, what advice would you give to financial advisors? Like I say, such as ourselves, such as people who work under regulators such as the FCA. What would you advise them to approach situations like this like?
Yeah, the best thing they could do, some of them, is come out into the streets, come out and try and help people, because a lot won't ask for help. They'll just keep letting it go and go and go, and then the mental health starts coming in, and the problems with that. But if they get out there on the street, I mean, although they're struggling and there's some really nice people who's in debt. Some's working even. But it's all about down to them asking. Yeah. But if they could come, if we could get like a stall next to us with leaflets on and all that, and financial help, and they could talk to somebody or go to an office and talk, it'd be absolutely brilliant. It'd be brilliant, because a lot of it is worry, mental health, over debt. Yeah,
no, really well put, and trying to connect in every possible way. I can imagine that's something we'll look to do, and always keep our eyes open on the local issues on the streets, I suppose, and that's a good thing for anyone to take on board, ourselves, yourselves, and anyone who just wants to help, really, I guess, with anyone in a poverty-stricken situation. So last question then, James, what are your plans going forward for Curry on the Street? Short-term, long-term, in summary, what do you want to achieve going forward?
It's going to be here forever. I mean, there's always going to be people that need help. And we have everything in place now. It's just a case of me getting funding to help out with expenses here and there. But it's going to keep going on. We want it to be going on in different towns. We're thinking of starting back up in Colne.
Yep. You're there now. You're there now in the market, aren't you?
Yeah. I did Colne once before, but there weren't really much call for it. I think I was inexperienced, but now I've picked up stuff, and I've got the equipment, I've got everything, I've got the volunteers, so it'd be no problem starting again in Colne. But I'd like to go through each town and get people to be doing their own charity work and stuff. Because we need it in every town, really. We do. There's a lot of people in Colne that's in debt. To be able to talk to someone, they'd love it. Do you know what I mean? I know there's places you can go, but if we actually got down there to the street itself and seen some of the guys, they'd love to talk to financial places. Yeah.
Like you say, a lot of the time it's just making the first step, and people in debt, people with bad mental health, people suffering addiction, sometimes all three, sometimes a collaboration of negative things affecting people. I'm sure from your point of view, James, there's certainly, every town's going to have people like that. Every town's going to have people who have fallen by the wayside, who are struggling, who need that pick-me-up. So from your point of view, going round helping is absolutely something that needs to be done, and it's something that you can, I think, strive towards, because someone will always be in need, I think. And you know what, that was a really good, well-rounded interview. I think people learned a lot about Curry on the Street, yourself, your selfless ambitions, and James, you also learned a lot with regards to Zoom and
Yeah.
using your iPhone and getting that set up in the middle of the market. You did a really good job on the phone, holding the camera up. Are you going to be using Zoom anytime soon, or is it a bit too complicated?
No, I'll use it. It's great. It's first time, but
Yep.
I've been offered a few times to use it, and I've always refused because I didn't think I'd cope with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll be using it again. It's great.
It's great. Oh, fantastic. I'm glad we got you onto it, Jez. I'm glad we got you onto it.
Yeah, I am.
And thanks for having this brilliant chat with us today. Thanks a lot, James.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Yeah.
Great stuff. Great stuff.